going to do a review for you on the few items that I have from Inglot. I don't have too much of the collection, but I did dabble recently in a few of the items and I wanted to let you know my thoughts. I was recently in Vegas over Christmas and I stopped by the 2 Inglot counters they have there. I did pick up a few items. The first item I picked up was a 5-pan Inglot Freedom System eyeshadow palette. I really enjoy the packaging of these eyeshadows. I enjoy that the lid is just magnetic. I really enjoy too that you can just stick the lid right at the bottom so you don't have to worry about misplacing it or anything like that. The one thing I don't like about this pan, I guess where you put the eyeshadows, is that they're really hard to get out. I mean, really in theory, when are you going to need to take them out? Only to look at the colors, which I wrote them down so I would never forget them and never have to do that again. But it's just concerning when you have to stick a little tiny needle in there and you're worried about denting your eyeshadows. But overall, I think that it's really well made, this case, and the eyeshadows don't move around at all and you don't have to worry about them flying out or anything like that. So I would recommend, if you're going to buy the eyeshadows, to buy one of the Freedom sort of containers to put them in so that way you're not breaking them. So I'll go over the colors I have. The first color I have right here is this really nice light mid-tone orange color with a little bit of undertones of brown. It's number 368. I really enjoy this color to put on top of the transition colors. So when you're using a transition color to blend out your eyeshadows, I like to put a little bit of this on there just to warm it up and add a really nice dimension to that. So this is a really pretty color. It is matte in texture. The next color I have is number 461. This is the only shimmery one I bought. It is a mid-tone brown transition color with gold shimmer in it. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to pick up the shimmer in the camera, but it's a really nice micro shimmer. I bought this one specifically because Lisa D1 here on YouTube, she talks about this model she follows on Instagram. I think she does YouTube videos as well, and Lisa said that this is the one color that model used a lot. I think she was a Russian model. I'm going to go with that, but she used this color a lot, and once Lisa talked about it forever and raved about it, I definitely wanted to pick that up. This is the one color I have yet to use because I've kind of been on like a matte kick, but I have really enjoyed the eyeshadow so far. The next color I have right here is number 344. It's almost like a mid-tone transition color with purple or like a lavendery gray undertone. I find that this color is one of my favorite ones that I've picked up. It's a really nice transition shade without being more on the brown side. Adds a little bit more dimension to your lid, but it's really pretty. Again, it's matte in texture. The next one I have is very similar to this one, but a little bit warmer and no shimmer in it. It's number 357. It's again a really pretty transition color. My favorite way to wear makeup daily is just putting a light color in the lid and then using a mid-tone color like these three for a transition shade or in the crease shade. So it's a really nice color to use that for, and I really enjoy the matte texture. And then the last one I have here is more of a mid-tone deeper brown, but it does have a little bit of plummy purple undertones. It's number 326. It's really nice to darken up the crease and to darken up the outer V. Overall, I have really enjoyed these eyeshadows. You do get a lot for what you're paying. I think that altogether, including the case, this was just under $50 American, which I think is a fantastic deal for the amount of eyeshadow you're getting. And I think that overall, the quality and the blendability of these eyeshadows are really nice. I do find that they do kick up a little bit of product, so they are a little bit powdery, but if you're careful and not just digging your brush right in them, it doesn't really do that. So it's not something that gets super messy or a waste of product, but I would really recommend the Inglot eyeshadows. I am interested to test out more, but as of now, I do have a lot of eyeshadows that I'm trying to use up, so this will be the only eyeshadows that I'm getting recently, but I do really enjoy them. The next item I got from Inglot, which was on the same trip when I was in Vegas over Christmas, was actually a brush. It was number 4SS. Lisa also talks about this brush. She said that that model used it to sort of blend out the eyeshadow all over her lid. Unfortunately, I don't have that much of a lid space, so it's kind of just all-consuming when I use it on my lid, but I really do like this for under eye setting, like if you're going to set your under eye concealer with powder. It's a really nice brush like that, and the quality of it is really nice. It's very soft. It's not too dense, but it's also not too flimsy. It feels really nice when you use it, and it was a decent price. I think it was close to $20 or $25, which is a pretty good price when you're comparing it to MAC or Marc Jacobs or anything like that. So I do really enjoy this brush. I am interested to check out a few more. If you have any recommendations of Inglot brushes, definitely let me know in the comments below. The one other thing I got during that trip was also something that Lisa mentioned because of, I guess, that model. It is the lip paint. So the Inglot lip paints, they come looking like this, and you just screw off the cap. Unfortunately, you do have to use your finger, but I usually use a lip brush, and this is number 53. I have used it a few times. It's not super opaque, it's more of a sheer glossy formula, so if you're putting it over top of a lipstick, it is really nice. Over top of your lips, it kind of just looks like a My Lips But Better color, but it is really nice to have. The one thing about it is the smell though. To me, it smells very like when I was 16 and I really liked like just cheapy perfumes and cheapy lip glosses. It has that scent to me, so I'm not a huge fan of that. I mean, it doesn't smell bad, but it kind of just reminds me of that time of my life, which I guess isn't a bad thing, but it's not the most enjoyable scent. I prefer more of a vanilla scent than anything else, but I do really like the formula. They're not too sticky, they're not too thick, and they're not too emollient, so it's just right in the mid-tone formula category, and they're really enjoyable. I recently placed an order as well on the Inglot online website. I watched a video from Tati from Glam Life Guru. She talked about some of the HD sculpting powders and I wanted to check them out. So I purchased actually one of these at Macy's in Seattle, but I purchased the rest online. I have all of the 5 shades they have available, so they are called the HD sculpting powders, and I have number 501, and then it goes 502, 503, 504, and 505. She specifically talks about number 504 and 505. They are more of like the mid-tone ashy tones for contouring, but I wanted to check them out, the rest of the shades out, and see how they did. I really enjoy the highlight shades. The yellow one is a little bit too yellow for me, but if I mix the 2 shades, it creates a really nice under eye highlight or concealer powder. This one, number 502, is a little bit more orangey and deeper, so I think it might be a really nice bronzer for me if I use a light hand, and these 2 are really nice contour colors. They're really nice texture, they blend really well, they are quite pigmented, and they should last you quite a long time. They are a good value for money. They think they were $15 each, which in theory is a little bit expensive when you're buying all 5 shades, but when you just want 1 or 2, it's a really nice alternative to some of the contour palettes that they have out there. One other thing that I purchased from Inglot is this right here. It is the yellow concealer, the one that comes in a little pan formula. I have yet to try this. Tati did mention it in her contour video as well. She didn't specifically say that this is the one she was talking about, but it was the only thing that they had that was similar, so I assumed it was so. I have yet to try this. She talks about it being a really nice highlighter. I'm worried it might be a little bit too yellow, but it might be nice if I top it with concealer. It might be really brightening. I haven't even tested it to see how creamy it is or anything like that, so if you have any feedback on it, let me know in the comments below, and let me know too how I should store this. As you can see, I have it stored in the powder compact. It's like a Z palette here with all the other powders. But one of my biggest pet peeves about storing powders with cream is the fact that the cream usually ends up with a little bit of powder in it. That's why I kept the little container it comes in. All of the Inglot shadows and any kind of powders that you get for the Freedom systems come in these little containers, and I actually just cut out the back of it, and I want to stick it right on top, so that way if I am using the powders and not the cream concealers, I don't have to worry about it mixing. As the only way I could figure out how to store this. I didn't want to buy a container just for this, another Z palette or one of those little mini Inglot Freedom system containers. I just didn't think there was a point to it, but if you have any other recommendations on how I should store this, or if you think that this is the only way I can do it, let me know in the comments below. If you've tried any of the other Inglot items or have any other recommendations for me to try from Inglot, definitely let me know in the comments below. I am wanting to try a few more items. I'm interested to maybe try one of their lipsticks and a few more of the brushes, so if you do, again, have any recommendations, let me know. Thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned.